Banking in Thailand is one of those things that a lot of people may find difficult. If you haven't been to Thailand before, or if you're looking to come for the first time, banking is one of those things that you want to get right and kind of get out of the way. I'm going to go over some of the best banks to use in Thailand and also go over some of the options that you have in ASEAN as a region to kind of complement your offshore banking. I think predominantly you have three banks that you would want to choose in Thailand if you are banking. You can use other banks and they are pretty safe. I think all of the big banks are relatively okay, but predominantly you would want to pick one of these three banks. I've used two of them in my time, and I think if you are getting a visa here, they do have affiliations with two of the banks, the K Bank and Bangkok Bank, and they can help you open it. Just some side notes, if you are looking to open a bank in Thailand, it depends on what visa you're on, retirement visa. I would always go, if you don't speak Thai, to one of the main branches. It does make it a lot easier because they do normally have people that can speak English to a certain degree in one of the main kind of hubs for the bank. Now, first off is Bangkok Bank is the one that I would look to use. It's got a great online system. I've been using it for 10 years now. It's got payment systems that's very easy. Obviously, what you will learn if you do come to Thailand, or if you've been here a while, you'll know this already, is that you can use a scan payment. It's very useful. It's something that's been implemented in China kind of 10 years ago. It's come into Thailand in the last 5-6 years, I would say. And it's one of these things that you can use on all of these banks. I think it's great. Payment banking is very easy on that. So Bangkok Bank, it's a great online. It's very popular with expats, and they've got a lot of big branches where you can open it if you are looking to kind of go and don't have that Thai kind of language skills. So next up is K Bank, the Green Bank. I've also got this bank as well, and I've used it for a number of years now. It's actually one of the affiliations that helped me open it with when it got the elite visa. Again, I've had no problems. The payment system is very similar to Bangkok Bank. It's very easy to use. It's all in English. Opening up was, for me, pretty easy. I think it can be a bit more challenging to open up a bank with K Bank if you don't speak Thai, or you haven't got a Thai partner to go with you. Again, I stick to the major banks, but it's a great online system. It's pretty safe in terms of stability, and it's widely used. And the payment system is very easy to understand. Last one is Thai's oldest bank. Now, I haven't personally used this one in my time in Thailand, but my partner uses it, and a lot of people do use it. It's the oldest bank in Thailand. It's one of the most stable banks because of who owns it. From what I've heard, it's got good kind of online systems, and there's no problem on that. So you might also want to have a look at opening an offshore bank. The reason for this is that Singapore has very strict requirements. I've had a lot of clients that have looked to open Singapore banks in the last few years, and they're just finding it very hard just because the kind of red tape is involved with Singapore. I still think it's a great place, and if you do have the documents to open an offshore bank and the funds to open an offshore bank in Singapore, it is one of the best options in the world. But you can look at other options, say the Isle of Man, Jersey, etc. Some of my top options are Standard Bank. If you just want to have a minimum deposit of $5,000, Standard Banks a good option. You also have the likes of Lloyd's, HSBC, Isle of Man, Jersey accounts. But again, if I was to look at them and you could meet the requirements, I would go more for the Singapore bank accounts. Also to note that regionally, if you are moving to Thailand, you do have some great offshore banks. Now, what we've seen in recent years, since 2019, 2020, is kind of move away from Hong Kong as offshore banking. I personally think it's still a good option, but obviously when you've got Singapore on your doorstep, it's a lot easier to use Singapore. So some of the top banks in there, if you're looking actually for a regional bank that you can use in Thailand as well, UAB, it's bought a lot of the city branches in ASEAN. It's looking to really grow its kind of reputation in ASEAN. So that's one of the ones that you can use as kind of offshore bank and bank in Singapore. I think Singapore's probably, if not the best place in the world to bank, especially with kind of what's happened to Switzerland in recent years. So for the minimum for offshore banking is around 350,000 Sing dollars. For privileged banking or private banking, it's 2 million Sing dollars for UAB. You also have other great banks in Singapore, OCBC private banking as well, and DBS. Personally, I think they're all great banks, and you can choose whichever one. You do have platforms with DBS that I think maybe a bit of an advantage, but I think they're all great. And if you're looking more for a regional bank that you can use maybe in Thailand and has that kind of regional presence in ASEAN, particularly if you're doing business in ASEAN, UAB is one of those banks that you may want to look as offshore and using in Thailand. Also, a little side note is that if you are looking to stay in Thailand, the interest rates aren't very high. You may want a USD account that gets high interest. Now, I'm not saying to put all the money in here, but a lot of people that do live in Thailand, particularly the ones that kind of spend a bit of the time in Cambodia, they do open up a Cambodian bank, and you can get some competitive rates in US dollars from around 6 to 8% with some of the main banks there, the FTB bank, for example. You can get some good rates with that. Now, I'm not entirely convinced about the security of the banks there, and you wouldn't want to put the whole portion of your portfolio in a Cambodian bank, but say you have maybe $100,000, you just want it to bank in the region, get a higher interest rate, a bit of diversification. I think potentially look at it as an option in opening a bank in Cambodia. So just to summarize, I think Thailand has some good banks. I'd stick to the main three. If you are looking at offshore banking, you've got Singapore close by that's got some of the world's best banks. Again, stick to their big three banks. I think they're all excellent. If you do want higher interest rate bank accounts, you have got some in the region as well with banks in Cambodia that are US dollar denominated, and you can get good rates in there.